What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back at AR headquarters and we had a snowstorm. We got about 7 inches of snow down here, and unfortunately I left one of my most prized cars sitting outside. So things didn't work out the way I had intended them to the other day. My goal was to haul something for Monkey Wrench Mike and be back down here so that I could actually move my 57 Chevy into the garage. And unfortunately, the weather deteriorated so quickly, I never had the opportunity to come down here and pick up Monkey Wrench Mike's car and haul it back up to Tulsa for him. I think he was going to have me haul the Lexus, and he was going to drive his E420, and it just didn't happen. The weather got so bad so quick, I could not get back down here, and unfortunately the 57, it got left sitting out in a snowstorm. 7 inches of snow. It's been 2 days now. We're finally above freezing, and as you can see, it's starting to melt. I'm hopeful the interior of this car is not soaking wet right now. I've never had this car in a snowstorm. I would never intentionally leave it out. Let's check the floor. No, she's dry. She's dry. I had somebody comment that my door's kind of curling up there. I know that. We have these armrests are coming apart too. It definitely needs a little bit of interior work, guys. These are just cardboard covered in cloth and material. It's not that big a deal. I could find them pre-cut on eBay for, I don't know, 400 bucks to do the doors and these back panels back here and that shelf in the back as well. Headliner's good though. I mean, everything else is good. It's just the cardboard stuff. No big deal. Not something I'm concerned with right now. Let's see if it'll start, guys. Let me see what the temperature is out here. I'm gonna guess it's probably about 38, 36, 38. It's 40. No kidding, 40. That's an old 57 Chevy for you, isn't it? She ain't running the greatest, but damn it, she's running. She's not happy. She's not happy. The goal is to get her out of this yard and put it into the shop before something else happens out here. Woo, she's rich. Good Lord. Yeah, she's running rich. May need to adjust the air fuel mixture on this bad boy. I had somebody comment the other day, and they said that the 57 Chevy is ugly. Just a horrible car, horribly ugly car. It's all big and bubbly and just looks all out of sorts. I couldn't believe it, man. Everybody's got their opinion, but good Lord, man. Seriously? To say a 57 is ugly, that's just rude. There we go. That is so rude to say. You know, everybody's got an opinion. I get that, and there's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but it's like, I could not imagine looking at somebody else's car and saying, hey bro, that car that you're so proud of right there, you love that car, right? Hey man, that car is ugly. Well, it's just, you know, I guess I don't know. I was raised different. You know, if someone says something to me, I'm going to say something back. But the truth of the matter is I would never look at somebody else's car. It could be a riced out Honda Civic. You guys know how I feel about those old ricers, right? And I would not come out and be like, hey man, that Civic is ugly. It's a crap car. I just wouldn't do it, man. It's mean. The car community should be better than that, in my opinion. I'm gonna see if we could take this thing out for a quick ride. There we go. You guys tell me, do we have any cars coming? No. She actually runs really well for a car that's been parked for days, left out in a snowstorm. There we go. There we go. Yeah. She's mad at me though. I know she's mad at me. I don't blame her one bit neither, man. Anyway, the car community, man, we should be better than that, guys. We should be better than that, to come out and talk trash on other people's cars. You know, you can think whatever you want, but to come out and tell somebody that, you know, hey, that car is ugly, or talk trash on somebody else's design. Maybe you don't agree with how they built their car, the way their car looks or whatever, and that's fine. You may not be happy that I took a 57 Chevy and put a bunch of chrome under the hood. That's fine too. But to like come out and tell people that, you know, their car is ugly or it's a crappy car or what, like, come on, man. There's no reason for any of that. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot? This thing was leaking power steering fluid everywhere. I mean, it was blowing power steering fluid everywhere in the last video. And we're taking it on its first drive now to find out if it stopped. So we'll pop the hood as soon as we get back. And we'll see if it's still leaking power steering fluid, because I think I fixed it. And some of you called it out in the comment section. Most of you didn't catch it. But there were a few of you that asked a very important question. And thankfully, I figured it out on my own. But I'm still thankful to those of you that reached out and said, hey, you might want to check on this first. So let's pull in here real quick, guys. And let's pop this hood. And let's see if we have power steering fluid all over the place right now. I don't want to get too far in here or I'm going to get stuck. You know what I mean? Old rear wheel drive car problems, right? Ooh, power steering is whining. That's not a good sign. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not a good sign. I spent a lot of time working on this power steering issue. Ha, fixed. I knew it. Look, no new fluid. No new fluid splattered anywhere in here. Before, guys, it splattered everything under the hood. The fluid must be a little low, and it's also freezing cold. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it is a little frothy, though. Well, the good news is, after taking it for a drive, there's no fluid up here, and it hasn't splattered all over the hood of my car. Oh, I just dumped snow all over everything under here. That's nice. So if you're wondering what I found, I bet a lot of you can figure it out. There was air trapped in the power steering system. I never bled it properly. To be honest with you guys, I have never needed to bleed a power steering system before, and I have swapped out rack and pinions and power steering pumps countless times. And all I've ever needed to do is fill it up, just turn the wheels back and forth for a while, and then just go for a drive, and usually it was cleared up. This car wasn't having it. I actually had to go back and read the directions. It was sent to me from CVF Racing, and the directions were very clear, and it said you cannot get around doing this step. You guys know what the step was? Jacking the front end in the air with the car off, filling up the fluid, and slowly turning the wheel left to lock, and then slowly turning the wheel right to lock, and doing that over and over. I did it a total of 50 times, which is probably overkill, but I did it 50 times just to make sure I was going to have it done right. And although it is frothy in the power steering pump right now, it has not spilled fluid anywhere. So, but boy, it is. You hear that? Then again, I mean, it is still very cold out, guys. I'm gonna let this thing just sit here and run for a little bit. Let's warm that fluid up. And by the way, I did use synthetic fluid in it as well. That's what it recommended. It recommended that I use synthetic fluid, so I used a really good synthetic fluid on this thing. I still can't believe I left her sitting out in the snow. I gotta go put this thing in the shop. All of these cars also just left sitting out here, guys. The Mustangs, you can see how much snow that is. And guys, it's been melting for 2 days. We haven't had any snow for 2 days. Take a look at this. Yeah, after melting. Oh my goodness, man. Man, we got the old truck over here. We got the Monte Carlo SS, my supercharged Dale Jr. car. I'll bet this car's from Arizona. I guarantee you this car has never seen snow in its entire life. Over here we got the old Chevy, the OBS, the 98 Chevy 1500 Silverado. And then one of y'all's favorites, I'm surprised so many of you really like this car, my Aero sedan, 1992 Ford Crown Victoria that we recently got running. I got a lot of stuff to get to out here, guys. I still have a lot of work to do, even though we've gotten almost everything running and driving that we got. The Mitsubishi Eclipse is still not running as of the filming of this video. And I just keep, it seems like roadblock after roadblock. I'm starting to think that maybe we're not gonna get that car going. But I'm gonna do another video here really soon, and I'm hopeful that we can get that thing on the road. This one is new to the channel, guys. I just got this. It's actually just got delivered. I didn't even know it was delivered out here. I don't remember. It's an an Infiniti G35. This is a 2008 Infiniti G35. I wasn't even looking for this car, man, at all. I got sucked into a local auction there at Copart. I was watching my own cars go through, and this thing popped up unexpectedly. And I was like, okay, I don't think we've ever had a G35 on the channel before. And the bids were $300. And I thought, I can't let this go for 300 bucks. It's a pure sale too, which means whatever it brings, $300, $500, doesn't matter. Whatever it brings, they're gonna sell it for that price. Well, now that I'm here and looking at it, I'm seeing things that I'm fairly certain I did not see in the pictures. Not that it matters. I ended up winning the car for $550, something like that. Definitely not exactly what I thought I was getting, but for the price, assuming it actually runs and drives, I'm gonna say, you know, 500 bucks isn't too bad. But there is one thing on this car that I was not aware of. This was news to me, and I sure didn't see it in the pictures, but you guys see what that is? You recognize that line, right? This is an Oklahoma car, so I'm a little shocked to see that line. If you don't recognize it, hold on a second. Let me refresh your memory, because we have those same lines right here on this Mustang, and we got them again over here on my white Mustang Cobra. Yep, right there. Huh. Well, interesting. So I bought a flood car, apparently, and this time unintentionally. No lie, guys, I did not know I was buying that G35, sorry. I did not know I was buying a flood car. I didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the listing on that, because I don't recall it saying that it was a flood. All I saw was it was, you know, supposedly a running and driving, nice little car being sold directly from the insurance company. And I thought, how could I go wrong? And now I've added another flood car to my fleet of flood cars. Flood car, the Crown Vic flood car. Then I've got in the garage, the Mitsubishi Eclipse flood car. I mean, I have got my hands full with flood cars right now, guys. In fact, I got my hands full with cars in general. Why don't we take this 57 out for another drive, and then let's put that thing in the shop where it belongs so that it can warm up and dry off. And there we go, we're off. Man, I can't wait to get seat belts installed in this car. It's very sketchy. I enjoy driving with no seat belts, don't get me wrong, but it's sketchy, especially with the deer out here and everything, inclement weather. Like, anything just makes you realize how important having seat belts are, because the last thing anybody wants to do is go flying out the windshield, or, you know, your head straight into this ginormous steering wheel on this car. It's a beautiful car. I enjoy driving it. I'm trying to get a few miles put on it, really trying to make sure this car is sorted out before Power Tour. We have figured out Power Tour is going to start in Indianapolis on, it's June 9th. So just be aware of that. If any of you guys are watching this video and you want to come out and see the 57 Chevy and Monkey Wrench Mike and myself, just make yourselves aware. It's like from the 9th to the 13th, starting in Indianapolis. We don't know the rest of the schedule yet, but I'll definitely update you as soon as I have information on when and where all of this is going to take place, because I would love to meet any of you guys and gals and your kids, your wives, your whole family, husbands, whatever. Bring everybody out, man. I would love to meet any of you that can make it out to the Hot Rod Power Tour and give you a little look up close at the 57 Chevy. I still got a lot of work to do to this car before Power Tour, that's for sure. We have the vintage air system that needs to be installed. Even though it's going to be a northern, it looks like it's going to be far north, I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about the heat. I still want to get that installed anyway. If nothing else, it's great for defrosting. And after that, I've got some fluids to change. I've got a new transmission pan that I want to put on it with some fins. It's an aluminum pan with a drain plug and fins. It'll make keeping my trans fluid clean a lot easier. Obviously, we got to go through the fluids, oil filter, rear diff, transmission filter, all of that good stuff. And I got to get my speedometer gear fixed because it's like 10 or 15 miles an hour off. And then, once we're done with all that, there's a little bit of suspension work that needs to be done. And then a stereo. We're going to take out the stereo system that's in it, put in something a little bit different. And after that, it should be ready to go for Power Tour. So don't worry, guys. If you love the 57 Chevy as much as I do, there's definitely going to be videos of this car coming. So we're going to take her on the 10-mile drive, and we're going to get back to the house, and we're going to see if we have any power steering fluid all over the underside of the hood. The steering is working great, feels great. It's not whining anymore. Temperature is great, obviously. Cooling fan's working like they're supposed to. I've got the defroster on currently, and take a look at that. It's kind of working. It's not great. The heat in this car really sucks. It's got everything new, guys. New thermostat. It's got new intake manifold. It's got new water pump. Everything. It's all new. So it's just really sucky heat at the moment. So hopefully, when we change out that for that vintage air system, I'm thinking it's the air conditioning and heater core all getting replaced in that unit, because I don't know, this heater core isn't leaking, but it sure doesn't seem to be working. It's crazy the way people are looking at me as they drive past, man. It's like, who is out driving around in a 57 Chevy in the middle of winter with all this snow and ice and nastiness on the ground? Now, I know a lot of you are probably concerned about salt. Don't be too concerned about salt. Oklahoma typically uses sand, but they're using something different. They're calling it beet juice. I don't even know what that is, guys. Honestly, I don't know what this beet juice is, but they're using any number of combinations of sand, beet juice, and this other stuff that they call brine. I don't know what brine is either. I don't have a clue what brine is. But to me, when I hear brine, I think of something from the ocean, like, I don't know, crunched up barnacles or crunched up seashells or something. That's what I think when I hear brine. I'm sure you guys will correct me down in the comment section below. But anyway, don't stress too much over salt, guys. We are not big on salting the roads out here. So that's why Oklahoma cars are typically not found to be rusted out and broken into pieces like the cars from the Northeast. We do things a little different down here. I don't know if it's better, but at least the cars out here last a little bit longer. So I decided to cheat. We're gonna go ahead and check and see if she's spewing power steering fluid everywhere now. Might as well. It's not gonna make any difference whether it's here or by the time we get back to the house. Nope. How about that, man? That is great news. Let's check this power steering reservoir. See if it's still frothy or nah, she's good. She's good. That fluid just needed a chance to heat up, man. A little bit of blow-by. I don't have any PCV system hooked up to this yet. I will probably do that. I forgot I need to do that. I need to get one of these, but with a PCV valve that I can run over to the carburetor, and then that'll be good. Temperature's nice. I was like, look, guys, I can literally rest my hand on this. Honestly, it's probably not hot enough. That makes me so happy, guys. Now all we got to do is figure out that air filter situation that we got going on, because the air filter needs to be addressed. I want to put that nice one that I had back on it. Some of you said I could use a carb spacer, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I bought one the other day. We'll see if it's going to fit. We'll try that out. So there's still plenty of work to be done on this car before Power Tour. So if this is something you're interested in, just stay tuned, guys. There's going to be more coming. And yes, that old pickup truck is still sitting here. I've had so many of you ask me about that truck. It's not mine, guys. That is not my truck. I don't know what it's doing here, but it has just been sitting here it's been well over a month. All right, guys, power steering is great. Love that horn. let's roll this thing on back to the house, get it in the garage, put it where it belongs, in a place that's nice and warm so it doesn't have to sit out here in the cold. You know what just occurred to me? I was just sitting here thinking, man, I don't care what anybody says about the Tri-5s, people that don't like cars from the 50s. What are you talking about, man? You ever seen an old Cadillac from the 50s? Oh my gosh, man. Cars from the 50s had so much class and so much style. Don't get me wrong, I love cars in general, man. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, you guys know me. I just love cars in general, but this car is 68 years old. 68 years old, and here it is, hammering on down the road at highway speeds in the winter. I was just thinking, man, I'm babying this car too much. Oh, we got to put it in the shop. We got to keep it out of the weather. Why, man? It's not a garage queen. This is not a show car by any stretch of the imagination. I'll be the first to admit it's got its imperfections, okay? Especially in the paint department. On camera, looks great. In person, it also looks great. Brian and them over at the Auto Spot did a phenomenal job really making this paint shine. But at the end of the day, it's like a 30-year-old paint job. All right, it's not perfect. This is not a car that you're going to take to a concourse car show and walk away with anything at all. All right, it's a driver. It's a great driver quality car. Yeah, if you wanted to enter it in like local car shows, yeah, you could probably bring home a trophy or a plaque or a blue ribbon, you know, for sure. I have no doubt that you could. But like a real car show, probably not going to happen, guys. And if you wanted to take it to Cars and Coffee, you know, and just show off a car that you're proud of, this car would do it all day long. But it's not a show car. So I really shouldn't be stressing too much about leaving it outdoors. Quite honestly, even though I already did all of the seals on this car, my biggest concern was that with all that snow sitting and melting over the last couple of days, that water was going to find its way into places that normally it wouldn't when it rains. It's one thing when it rains, it's another when you have like 7 inches of snow sitting on top of your car and just slowly melting and creeping into your car. That's what I was worried about. I'm happy to report that I got here today, most of the snow has already melted off of this car, and no, it's dry as a bone in here, man. We're still going to put it in the shop. It's the right thing to do. I want to preserve the car, obviously, as long as possible, but I thought I'd throw that out there, man. It's not a show car, and it damn sure is not a garage queen. All right, guys. She made it back. We're going to check under that hood again just to make sure. Hopefully we don't get stuck trying to pull into this garage here, because it's a mess. Easy does it. There we go. We made it. Running out of room in my old shop here, guys. Let's go ahead and shut her down. There we go. And let's pop that hood. Ooh, I forgot my motorcycle was over here. Oh man, nice and warm in here. A little on the dark side though. Let's pop this hood. Oh no. Come on, man. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I need to clean that up with like degreaser, because it looks so bad. But seriously, it was leaking right out of this hole right here, man. That's where it was coming out of. I figured it out. Fluid. Still looking foamy though. You know what I mean? Huh. It's not leaking anymore, so that's good. You can clearly see I still got a little cleaning to do back here and everything, but we'll try. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to lift this air cleaner up. Ooh, that's really hot. That's a little on the warmer side now, because it's going to end up hitting the hood up here. So I'll try. I definitely want to get that new air filter in there, guys. But look what we got over here. We got Monkey Wrench Mike's Maserati. She's on stilts, man. Well, they're not stilts, they're dollies. But we got the car in here, trying. I'm not going to give away any of his video, but it ain't been going well. He's been having about as much luck with that car as I'm having with my little Mitsubishi Eclipse over here, man. This car has been kind of the bane of my existence lately. It doesn't seem to matter what I try. We just keep running into problems with it. Thankfully, though, I got some new parts for it, so that's going to be coming soon. Also got some new parts for the convertible Mustang that was flooded. We've got a new computer, so hopefully this will give us spark. And these things right here apparently go to the fuel pump. So hopefully installing these and this will equal this car finally starting, because I'm really wanting to see if we can get this thing running. Because if we can, we got to do some suspension work on the back. Obviously, we got to clean out the interior. It's a lot of work to do on this particular car, guys, but I would love nothing more than to see this one on the road too. And at that point, I would have 5 out of 5 flood cars. 100% success rate, getting 5 saltwater hurricane flooded cars from Florida that I bought sight unseen, all running and driving again. With that, I'm going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.